Today, I'm going to give you 3 alternatives to this bad boy, the Toyota 4Runner. And because the 4Runner is widely regarded as their most reliable vehicle, my goal is to provide you with alternatives that are also reliable and hopefully easier on your wallet. Well, except for one. Now, your first option is the Nissan Xterra. They made these from 2005 to 2015. The reason I chose the Xterra first is the similarities. They both, the Xterra and the 4Runner, have 4-liter V6 engines. The power is going to be almost identical in both of them. Very comparable designs on the engine, and also the transmission. They both have a 5-speed transmission, which is great. They haven't had any issues really with their transmissions and their engines in either the 4Runner or the Xterra. And if you look up here, probably starting about 2008, the Xterra's got a little bit more reliable. I would probably stay away from the 05, 6, and 7s. 2009 and up are really reliable. You can still get lucky and pick up an 05, 06, or 07. The main problem that they had was, it was actually a small problem. It says coolant leaked into the transmission. It's a very easy problem to fix. It takes about 20 or 30 minutes. You can get under the car, swap 2 hoses, and I'll put an image up here. After you swap those 2 hoses, you won't have this problem. So the reason they got rated so unreliable in those first 3 or 4 years was because of this simple radiator crack. And as you can see here, some of these Xterras are a little older, but there's quite a few for sale. And the prices are generally a little bit lower than the 4Runners if you compare mileage to the year. So there's a lot of them still available. You'll see high mileage Xterras a lot, which is actually a good sign. If you see a lot of high mileage 200,000-300,000 mile cars, that usually is a sign of reliability. Another big reason to choose the Xterra is the aftermarket support. If you look here, I mean, you can go to just about any 4-wheel drive website and you're going to see a huge amount of aftermarket support and parts for these. They made them for 10 years and they didn't change much on the Xterras in that time, so aftermarket support is great if you're into overlanding or camping. Just as a little personal story, I've got 2 family members with Xterras and 1 family member with the 4Runner, and I've worked on all of them in the garage, and I can tell you they're both built like tanks. They're built great. Here's an article. It is on trail4runner.com. I'll link it down in the description. This guy and his wife actually have a Xterra and 4Runner, and he goes through a lot of the similarities and differences and kind of what you can expect from both. He really thinks they're super comparable. Good approach angle, good ground clearance. You know, the Xterra wins in some areas, the 4Runner wins in others. Some of it's subjective, but really good article. I'll link down the description. So if you're kind of wondering if you should pull the trigger on an Xterra, this is a great place to start. That brings us to our second alternative, the Lexus GX 460. Now, I would imagine that the only person that this might appeal to is someone that really likes the 4Runner or wants to stay in the Toyota brand and just wants something fancier. You know, they want heated seats and all the Lexus trimmings on the inside, and they're not really worried about spending more money because it's definitely not going to be cheaper than the 4Runner. On top of that, I don't think it looks very good. I don't know. Just personal opinion. I don't think it looks nearly as nice as the 4Runner or the Xterra. It is, however, built on the same platform as the 4Runner. So as you can see here, it is extremely reliable all the way from 2010 on up. Really not a lot of issues. It's very similar to the 4Runner. So it's going to be a safe buy for reliability. And here's a list of available GX 460s in my area anyway. They're fairly expensive still, $16,000, 177,000 miles, close to 200,000 miles. They really hold their value. After people figured out that they're kind of a fancy 4Runner, the prices started to shoot up after COVID, so it's a little tougher to find these at a bargain. Aftermarket support's pretty good. There are quite a few websites out there that are similar to 4Runners and Xterras. I don't think they have quite the support of 4Runner and Xterra market, but they have a lot of aftermarket support for overlanding and camping. I think that's a plus. Okay, moving on to the honorable mentions. The old FJ Cruiser. If you can find one of these and you actually like the design, they're a super reliable vehicle as well. The design's a little, you either love it or you hate it. Compared to the 4Runner, the FJ's had a 3.5 liter V6 that was a little bit less power, a little bit less torque than what you're going to find in the 4Runner, but just a little different configuration. Reliability overall for the FJ was pretty good. 2007 was the worst year, and 2008 on up, it's pretty stable. you do see a lot of FJs for sale with high mileage, and I'll show you here in a second. And as you can see, we've got some FJs for sale, 170,000 miles, 12 grand. They're kind of all over the place. You might find more on Facebook Marketplace. These tend to be a little bit higher on cars.com. Just be careful when you're on Facebook. You got to make sure they haven't been wrecked and rebuilt. But prices are kind of all over the place. It's becoming a bit of a collector's item. So during COVID, these really shot up in price, and now they're coming back down. So here's the final list, and I guess the big question is, what did I miss? Drop a comment below and let me know what you think is a great alternative to the 4Runner. Just try to keep it in the reliable and potential off-roading capability. I was really trying to keep with that theme and not go with some of these city SUVs like the Highlander and other things.